Hope all is well. And we are back for another daily insight. For those that don't know, my name is Donovan Hilton, brand builder and relationship management consultant. And I'm excited to bring a topic that you may or may not be aware of. And it was something that was introduced to me as I started to jump into more of entrepreneurship and taking my skills and my experience and becoming jumping from employment to self-employed and going from that process to even jumping into going from self-employed to operating a business, which consists of more processes and systems. So it all started with knowing yourself, knowing your brand, and in doing that, you're building a business model. You want to generate revenue, and you're an entrepreneur. You're getting so many different perspectives, and one perspective that crossed my mind is a micro niche, and that was something that was big for me because I was in marketing. At the time, I was in grassroots marketing when I first realized my skills, and it was very new. I didn't know, like I just kept saying marketing. Then it was grassroots marketing. And then from grassroots, you go into uh, digital marketing, brand ambassador, also known as a corporate ambassador, event marketing, email marketing. There's so many different social media, there's digital. There's so many different aspects, telemarketing. And so just really nailing down your niche and how you can find yours is something I really want to make sure that we as entrepreneurs are aware of. Or if you're looking to master your skills as a business developer, or basically, if you're an entrepreneur, you are a business developer, you're overseeing sales, you're overseeing this baby, this brand of yours. If you are a business development professional, sales professional, I think this is, or an entrepreneur, I think this is a great article for you to join me in. And so, excuse me, I don't want to take too much of our time to, again, thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing this information. Let's jump into it. Fun fact for those that don't know, I am a registered Lord of Glencoe in the country of Scotland, courtesy of Highland Titles. So you might see when you do some research and visit my site, the name Donovan, or the name Lord Donovan Hilton. And so let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay. What is, well, first of all, shout out to Hot Mart blog. And one thing I didn't notice, I'm gonna just throw it out there. I didn't notice I don't have a way to get in contact with me. I usually have it tagged in my lives. I don't have it right now, but visit ldhadvising.com to check out more of my work. That's LDH Advising, L as in Lord, D as in Donovan, H as in Hilton, advising. So ldhadvising.com, check out more of my work. But we're going to keep going. I always say you don't have to be great to start, but you do have to start to be great. And therefore, this is a real life experience, and now you know how to do it. So shout out to Hotmart for powering this article. Don't see the particular author yet, but let's jump into it. What is a micro niche, and how can you find yours? A micro niche is a specification within a broader area to segment your audience. Learn how to find yours and why you need this strategy. And that's why I'm glad for those that are just brand new to entrepreneurship. Definitely something you want to listen to as far as conversation. Commercial break me, please. Shout out to Joe T. Baker, JBT3, number 3.org. Check out his work for inspiring, for at least for me, the commercial break me, please, because he does some great stories about his perseverance and his life. So, but just real quick, excuse me. The micro niche is a specification within a broader area to segment your audience. Now, when you're talking about segmenting your audience, you're talking about identifying your customer base, your target market, your prospects. This is very important because if you're limited with your funds, you have to make sure that you are reaching those that are open to doing business with you and the service you're providing or the product you're providing. So we're now jumping into customer bases and segments in that area. Demographics. Learn how to find yours and why you need the strategy. All right, back to the article. It is essential that everybody who starts a business understands their area of expertise. I can't speak enough about this for me. Commercial break me, please. I didn't know anything about starting a business, and when I jumped into it, and knowing my area of expertise, because I was so broad in what I did, because I'm taking my skills from the corporate world and bringing it into something that is tangibly produced for someone to purchase, and what that expertise was. And so I knew I had an idea because of the department I was in and the roles that I actually did, as far as my day to day. But actually putting that and packaging it and presenting it was, another journey and experience, yet alone knowing your expertise. I hope I don't have any more commercial breaks. Moving on. This means you need to know the niche in which you are working in. I highlight that. I think the article's name for that particular hyperlinked article is How to Choose an Ideal Market Niche. So you may want to check that out. I should have a link to this article as well in the description. Within the area you choose, it is possible to determine a micro niche, which are specific areas from a general one. This is an essential strategy for your success. After all, having a specific segmented niche helps you convert more and will let you know why. So, to understand why you need to think of a micro niche, we'll let you know. We hope that after reading this post, you can identify interesting micro niches where you can develop your content, products, and services. Commercial breaking, please. And that's the reason why I wanted to focus on this article, especially for those that are getting started or those that are in the game and want to take it to another level. This is information I come across all the time. I want to make sure I'm sharing it with you. And so I hope that after reading this post, we all can, including myself, can identify interesting micro niches where we can develop our content, our products, and our services. Are you ready to learn more about this strategy? Good reading. What are niches? Niche is the name given to a company or business's area of expertise. It's formed by an audience that shares some characteristics, and because of that, they are prone to buying a given product. Basically, the niche is the segment you are going to work with. However, they are very broad, which means they are general representations of any area, such as shoes. Working with niches can attract lots of people, but because it is such a broad term, it is possible that you don't convert much. This happens because the most popular products are usually from well-known brands, which puts them on top of the search engine results. So, standing out and having good market projection can take longer than you imagine. Another problem is that since the term searched involves everything that is related to your niche, you can even have many visitors, but they won't all be qualified. This means that the bounce rate can be high since your product or service is not exactly what everybody is looking for. Commercial break me, please. It's one thing to have leads, excuse me. It's one thing to have leads. It's another thing to have qualified leads. It's one thing to sell leads. It's another thing to sell qualified leads. Which one would be more valuable in the eyes of the consumer? The leads in general or qualified leads for that particular brand? Back to the article. So it's interesting to think. So it's interesting to think of specific niches. Despite this being a broad strategy, it's already a good start to define your micro niche. As an example of specific niche, an example of a specific niche is men's shoes. As you can see, this definition leads more qualified visitors to your website. This happens because the definition is more specific than just shoes. Commercial break me, please. So we know you sell shoes, but they're saying, okay, these are men's shoes. So respectfully, individuals that are purchasing these shoes will want to, are individuals that are looking to purchase men's shoes. So that lead or those customers become more specific as we get into niches and micro. Back to the article. However, it's still possible that you can attract people who are not interested in buying exactly what your brand offers. After all, Just defining your niche as men's shoes can include a series of shoes designs that are not what that person is looking for. So thinking about a strategy of having a specific audience for your business, it's important to think of a micro niche. So what they're saying, commercial break me please, is you have shoes, you have men's shoes, but then you have men's shoes with specific designs that someone is looking for. Back to the article. But do we know what they are? What are micro niches? In general, a micro niche represents a small part of consumers and clients from a broader market. Respectfully, if you are in business, these are two words: consumers and clients. Two words: consumers, clients. Those are two words that are on the sales side, the business development side, the management and marketing side, because respectfully, the consumer and the clients are the glue or the engine that provides the revenue needed to sustain the business, to sustain paychecks, respectfully. So in general, a micro niche represents a small part of consumers and clients from a broader market. Thinking about the shoe example, a micro niche could be men's running shoes, men's formal shoes, red leather men's shoes, and thousands of other specifications. As you notice from the example, micro niches leave no room for the type of product that is being offered. Let me read that again. Make sure we understood that. As you notice from the examples, micro niches leave no room for the type of product that is being offered. So people looking for them will have no doubts that they are in the right place to purchase what they need at that time. Commercial break me, please. Is that possible for someone to be able to come to the right place to purchase what they need at that time? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, please. Moving on. However, a micro niche gets fewer visitors after all. Repeat that one more time. However, a micro niche gets fewer visitors after all. Only people who want to buy something specific will look for them. On the other hand, it is likely that this audience is more interested in buying your products or services because you market exactly what they are looking for. It is also possible to be more and more specific as you funnel a generic area. Funnel. Now, when you get into marketing, business development, keyword is funnel. When you think of marketing and business development, that does encompass a touch of sales, if not more. For example, you can offer men's black running shoes in large sizes. This means that there are different possibilities for choosing micro niches. This happens because you can describe several sub-areas of the same topic. Notice that the less general, the more your product answers to. Let me repeat that one more time, please. Notice that the less general, the more your product answers to a specific audience need. Notice that the less general, the more your product answers to a specific audience need. And also notice that your product's description becomes more explanatory and descriptive. Look at the picture below. It sums up the main difference between niches and micro niches. So let's put all this information into picture frame for myself, someone that I need from like me needs to understand. So global niches, many visitors, low conversion rates, not very effective email marketing. I rely on email marketing as a form of advertisement, if you will. Specific niches, few visitors, good conversion rate, effective email marketing. Micro niches, extremely few visitors, very high conversion rate, very effective email marketing. And this is why I wanted to bring this information to you, just to stimulate your mind and see, hey, is this marketing strategy a good approach for me? And your micro niche, I've always advocated email marketing as a form of advertising and creating awareness about your brand, product or service. And we can see here, for the cost reasons, paid advertising is great. I just have a very big email database, growing a very large telephone database. I like to reach folks as many angles as possible. And so email marketing has always been a bread and butter for my firm and myself. And as we see, if you want effective email marketing, which is a great way to get in front of people and to build that relationship, you're going to need about 5 to 12 touches for someone to do anything with you. Usually, from a sales perspective, a micro niche is something you may want to focus on. It's going to take a little more time. There'll be a lot less visitors, but it's higher conversion rates, and your email marketing becomes effective. Something to think about. You don't have to do it, just food for thought. Moving on. As you can see, there are the broader areas of expertise, which are niches. It contains all specific niches and micro niches you can work in. The more you detail your product or service, the more segmented is your audience. So the number of visitors is smaller, but the conversion rate and the efficiency of your email marketing increase. This happens because people who search for micro niche have a better understanding of what they're looking for. Therefore, the possibility to sell a product or hire a service increases. Commercial break me, please. I want to repeat the sentence that caught my attention. This happens because people who search for a micro niche. So that's the thing. You have those that you are reaching out to see if they, are searching for your niche. But then there are people that are specifically looking online to connect with your service. There is a tool that I would highly suggest that anyone would invest to. They had advertisement dollars each month. They had to put it somewhere. There's a tool that will help you identify people who are actually searching for your micro niche. And if you want to know what that is, send me leave a comment in the description that says people search. We'll do that. Leave a comment in the description that says people search, and I'll make sure I get that information over to you. So I just want to make sure we understood that as we move on to the next segment of the article. Moving on. Advantages of working with a micro niche. Number one, it's easy. Creating content for a micro niche can be easier than for general areas. When you have a broad niche, it's necessary to broadcast different information, and sometimes this can be very complicated because you won't be able to develop all at once. I've been there. I know. Commercial break me, please. You want to do it all at once, but it's not possible, especially if you're a one-man team. Breaking it down as small as possible to get what you can get and done as efficiently as possible may sound like a good idea compared to casting a wider net. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Again, we're just stimulating the brain. This information is not right or wrong, but I want to bring it to the table because this is stuff that I put in the back of my mind as I move through business, government, and community relations, and want to make sure that you're aware of it as well. Moving on. There's also the risk that you don't create high quality content every time. After all, it isn't normal that a person knows everything that is to know about such a broad area. It isn't normal that a person knows everything that is to know about such a broad area. People put that pressure on themselves. Moving on. We're always better at a specific part of a subject. So having a sub niche makes it possible for you to dedicate exclusively to this part of your niche. By doing so, it will be easier to create high quality content that is more informative in less time. Number two, being useful to your audience. Not your audience being useful to you, but you being useful to your audience. That is a value. Moving on. And if you want me to speak more on value, what that really means and how that can affect the decision making of your customers or your prospects, leave in the comments learn value, and I'll create something, and we'll take some time to jump into that as well. All right. We'll just start from the top here. Being useful to your audience, that's value. Thinking of a micro niche means working with a specific topic. Thinking of a micro niche means working with a very specific topic. For this reason, you have a better chance of solving the problem of people who have searched for your product or service. When someone has precise information about something they need with a certain urgency, it is more likely that they buy or want to know more about the product that is being offered. Commercial break me, please. Desperate times calls for desperate measures. And when we're talking about BANT and that situation, timing and need, BANT being budget, authority, needs, and timeline at the minimum. Timing, which is timeline, timing and needs are huge when it comes to the sales process, and the timing is going to affect the needs. And maybe indirectly vice versa, but I know the timing is going to affect the need. Time is not right, the need may not be there, so therefore the sale might not be there. But I've been in plenty of situations where I was able to have an opportunity because the need was so high based on the timing being so perfect for me. Desperate times call for desperate measures. And I was able to build a lot of things, a lot of expertise, a lot of reviews to get to a point where I am today. Moving on. That's why sub niches are great strategies to create useful content for your audience. Number 3, profitability. A person who searches for a micro niche already knows exactly what they want. They just haven't found the appropriate product or service yet. Therefore, you will make a good use of your marketing and sales strategy. I'm going to repeat that again, forgive me. Therefore, you will make a good use of your marketing and sales strategy. After all, there are bigger chances of that purchase to be made, which leads to profits. Number 4, engagement. Sending email marketing and more elaborate content to your audience that belongs to a micro niche can result in a higher conversion rate. Commercial break me, please. When you're in business development, sales, and marketing, a lot of things are based on conversion rate because you want to look at, okay, what's working and what's not working. And what's working, you want to do more of. What's not working, you want to do less of. You're going to be able to save time, save money, and to maintain motivation for your team. If you're not analyzing your conversion rates, the conversion of the message going out and someone opening the message being open and someone actually clicking the call to action with someone actually engaging in that action, those are all conversions and they're all rated. And you're able to rate those various stages to where you get the highest rate for each stage. So you have the highest conversion process and pipeline possible for the sale, if that makes sense, or the engagement in this case. Usually people who look for something, moving on, usually people who look for something more specific are engaged in their searches. They really wish to know more about the topic you're talking about. So if you have a good email marketing strategy, you have better opening and click-through rates. And that's what we're talking about earlier. Opening and click-through rates when it comes to email marketing. So if you have a good email marketing strategy, you'll have better opening and click-through rates, because if no one's opening your email, that means that possibly the subject is not eye-catching. The content, the description is not eye-catching. The graphic design is not eye-catching. So if no one's opening it, that's the first place you have to start. You have to analyze that. Then you have your click-through rates. How to identify a micro niche. By now, you can already tell a niche from a micro niche, but do you know how to identify the latter? Many people who are starting out a new business look their niches up online. They search for keywords and they try to develop a product or service based on the areas that are most searched for. Very true. In order to do that, tools such as Google Trends allow you to review trending topics. This means that you have access to topics that are in vogue. Another way of researching into niches is through social media. You can get a better grip of what people are talking about. These two strategies can be used to select your niche. However, if we think of a micro niche, wouldn't it be better to make the decision based on a more narrow area? Looking for ideas in the real world and expanding them is a great way of finding sub-niches that you have never imagined before. Think about your likes in general and try to identify specific topics within your idea. Think about your likes and try to identify specific commercial break me, please. Think about your likes and try to identify specific topics within your idea. There's a saying, what do you what do you like to do? What are you good at? What do you like to do? What do people need? And what are people willing to pay you for? That's all part of the getting paid process. And so thinking about your likes is when I think of that. Thinking about your likes to try to identify specific topics within your idea. Hopefully that helps put some more context on thinking about your likes. Your likes has to be something you're good at, possibly something you obviously like to do, something that hopefully people need, and something that people are willing to pay you for. And then you're getting into that micro. You can also, back to the article, you can also talk to acquaintances and family members to understand what their likes are. To help you better segment your area of expertise, you can ask the following questions. What am I interested in working with? What do people around me seem to be interested in? What problems do I have that need solving? What pains do my friends and family go through? And before I go into the next part of the article, as we wrap up here, I think the first one is something that is focused on self. What am I interested in working with? Because again, it has to be something that you like to do, especially if you're self-employed or you're trying to build something. Not saying you have to, but it's helpful, especially if you're just starting off. You have to have a lot of faith, a lot of perseverance. So I'm assuming what you like to do has to be a motivation for you, knowing that, at some point you're going to reach financial success. We want to stand in agreement. And until that time actually manifest, you want to have the idea that I would be able to do this for free if I could. Not saying you need to, but it's something you like to do. So that's the first question looks pretty self-focused, but what do people around me seem to be interested in is a question that's going to help you drive revenue, because now you're looking at what do other people need, which is value. What problems do I have that need solving? I like that it's still self-focused, but usually if you have this problem, others may have this problem. So you're thinking of others, and that brings value. What pains do my friends and family go through? Same thing. You're thinking of others and relating that, hey, I'm not too far from that, or we may be aligned where others may have the same problem. And so getting as much ideas of challenges to be able to provide solutions is a great way for you to be valuable to someone, I believe is what the article here is saying. Moving on. By doing so, as you move further along in your research, you'll notice that there are countless topics related to the ones you've chosen. From there, you can set the best micro niche for your brand. Now, I want to get into that conversation later, brand. Back to the article. But with so many options, do you know how to choose the best? But with so many options, do you know how to choose the one that best suits your business? There's a video of how to choose your market niche here. We're not going to check it out, but it's in the article. Feel free to press play. Leave your findings and what you took from the video in the comments, so we can all just stimulate our minds from that as well. How to choose a micro niche. I'm thinking if I should continue on or save the rest. We'll save the rest. We're going to save the rest. So if join, first of all, I need you to join the Patreon or join my email newsletter listing, just to make sure that you are up to date when I do videos that are not live and are not on YouTube, and we could jump into more of the conversation or more of the article in more detail, because I do have to be able to provide, some information for what I call the nobility circle. And the nobility circle are individuals that have paid into a membership that provides additional insight, access, and resources to business, government, and community relations that the average individual just won't be able to get. So I'm gonna stop it right here on that. And again, I don't have the stream going, but in the description is going to be a link to my website. Right now, I'm offering free 20-minute advising sessions to help you increase your customer base, your community presence, or to help you provide customer service training or leadership development training for your team. That's going to change. The free is going to be pretty much going away pretty soon. It's filled up, and we're going to go to possibly um, $1, or where I'll be doing a group advising, where you can come in and ask your question with other people, because now the time is starting to fill up, the calendar's starting to fill up. So while it's there, go ahead and take advantage of that. Outside of that, there's a button to join the Nobility Circle to get the additional information like this that I'll be jumping into. There's an email address on the website, ldhadvising.com. If you have any questions, the team will get back to you to make sure that we're answering those questions. But I'm going to leave the second half of this article, because it is a little lengthy, in the memberships for the Nobility Circle. Make sure you visit, and thank you for visiting ldhadvising.com. What did you take out of this article? Did you, as far as micro niches, did you know they existed? If you found out that they just existed for the first time, you just found out, how did this impact, your perspectives of entrepreneurship, and how will this help, you generate more revenue? And if you have any questions about micro niches from what you have, we just discussed, feel free to go ahead and leave those questions in the comments. And hopefully we can keep this conversation going. But I felt this was a great conversation about something that can help take what you're doing to the next level, and how you can find yours. And as you're always searching for your micro niche in your profession, continue to search for your growth and your micro niches, if you will, in your personal life. Because a lot of times we have to realize our professional growth is founded on our personal growth. And just as much you want to find your professional niche, find your personal niches. Find, again, what makes you tick. Get to know yourself, get to love yourself, because all this will come together. And that's what I really want to make sure why you want to join the Nobility Circle, because we jump into conversations behind the scene where it all comes together, the personal and the professional. So make sure you visit the site, click the links. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and following, and I'm going to see you.